So this is Max, my sous chef at the restaurant, and he's breaking down our heritage pork today. We get rib loin in, clean the bones off. We use those for the jus that we'll put on the pork dish. Pork is sort of my ode to barbecue with some Middle Eastern flavors, which is a little irreverent because you wouldn't be eating barbecued pork in the Middle East. I love the rib loin because it's tender, especially the part where you have like part tenderloin, part rib loin, and it kind of has the two-tone meat.
So what I'm doing now is basically just wrapping this pork so I can be able to portion it to 8-ounce portions for the tasting menu.
And then each person will get 4-ounce slice out of it. So he's just gonna portion it out and then we'll sous vide it and grill it off. Pulling from my heritage, it has a lot of those spices, the Baharat spice mix, which is some cinnamon, allspice, clove, peppercorns, you know, a lot of different flavors that when marinated on the pork with Aleppo pepper, date syrup, it has the sweetness, the spice, a little heat from the peppers. And then I have really nice squash and pickled butternut squash ribbons. And I think it brings together this nostalgia of like sort of a pork barbecue dish with some side of pickles, but for me with notes that are familiar from my childhood. I am looking for some mackerel, Spanish mackerel.
Spanish mackerel. I got some new ones over here this morning.
4 of them would be great, thank you.
So I'll have the guys gut it and cut the fins for you.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
I try to rotate the menu fairly seasonally, and then just sometimes I get tired of certain dishes. So I like to just keep the kitchen exciting and always test new things. Mackerel is one of my favorite fish. I haven't used it in a little while, so I was thinking of bringing it back. Early part of the morning when not a lot of people are here is when I really like to do my butchering and production. And I'm testing a new dish. I have a halibut on the menu right now, but I've been wanting to switch to mackerel for the winter. I think a lot of people are sometimes weary of mackerel because it's just gotten such a reputation as being sort of like an oily, fishy, strong flavored fish. But I find Spanish mackerel to be really nice and mild. It works well with bold flavors like citrus and even curing it a little bit. It's just one of my favorites. It's probably a harder sell than a tuna or a salmon. I like to live on the edge a little bit. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put a little salt, sugar, and citrus cure on these. I'm not curing it like more than 20 minutes or so. I just wanted to firm the flesh, make it a little easier to work with, and give it a little bit of a seasoning. The sugar in there will give it a little sweetness too that I think will play off some of the citrus I have, which is a little bit tart.
Here is a lot of our beautiful citrus. Citrus season, we're kind of really starting to ramp up.
This is Anna from Natura. She has been bringing us samples by for a while now. I feel like every time she brings something, I get really inspired.
These are the Awari Satsumas, which I know you'd used green before a bit. This is an Orrù Blanco, so heirloom grapefruit. Everything's totally unwaxed. You're gonna use any of the aromatics from the skin, full of essential oils. I also brought some salsify that we're getting in locally. You're not gonna see that at a grocery store.
Right. Yeah, the salsify is really interesting. Every time I've ever had it, it's always got the black skin on it, so I'm interested to see if it cooks differently or tastes differently, but really lovely winter root vegetable that I always love blanching a little bit and then searing. Gives a little bit of crunch and texture to the dish and a little earthiness. So I always like to bring something to my dishes that it's approachable and people feel like they're not scared off by it, but it still brings enough interesting components that they're excited to come back and have it again.
Makes it more fun for everyone.
Yeah. All right, so that's the timer for fish. So I'm just gonna rinse the cure off of the mackerel. What you doing? Hey, nosy. Sorry. Well, usually, I know. Usually I would be like, go away. What do you, stop looking. I'm not there yet.
You know I love your mackerel.
I know. You're the only one I'm really looking to please here. Just gonna pop this back in the walk-in to let it kind of dry out a little more before I work with it again. So one of the things we like to do before everyone gets into the kitchen is shape the sourdough bread. Ideally, we're shaping before anyone gets in so that we're not in everyone's way. CAMARI typically is making the bread.
One of my favorite tasks in the kitchen, just go to the autopilot.
As soon as people start coming in and you have to work around them for this, it's not fun.
If I'm really moving, it takes me like an hour and a half start to finish. You're doing 60 little loaves. When you get the individual loaf of bread, it feels like it's made for you. We don't buy our bread, we make it with love.
We're always thinking of ways to evolve the tasting menu and see if we can ever give anyone a higher end experience. So today I've been working on a dish that's going to be centered around this scampi roe, which is this beautiful, vibrant blue, rich shellfish flavor of a roe that comes from Langoustine in Australia. So I'm trying to work on that dish, or at least get a prototype of it, see if it'll work. All right, so I'm going to start preparing these blue crystal prawns that I have for the tortellini. I want to test that once CAMARI puts the pasta dough together. The scampi roe is definitely a nice high-end product, so I want to make sure it's not outshined by anything. The shellfish will let the roe speak for itself at the end when it's just garnished. It's just some of the prawn, fennel for some crunch, lemon zest, olive oil, and salt. So I'm just gonna make a pretty simple shellfish broth with flavors of fennel, some shallot, and then the shellfish. Just adding the heads and shells from the prawns. And I'll just cook those out for a minute and then add some white wine. All right, so now that I got the prawn stock on the stove, I need to get some ducks butchered. I have some whole ducks that I'm gonna go grab from the butcher shop across the street. I didn't order enough duck today. Do you have any breasts hanging around here?
I do. Hold on.
This is Lebanese Meats and Poultry. Jen runs the shop now, and she's a great neighbor, and it's awesome to have her across the street. She's always helped me out in a pinch. The duck is a great dish. It sells pretty well. I think people love it, but it's, stands apart from being, your run-of-the-mill chicken or other poultry. So, got my ducks that I just picked up from Jen across the street. I like to have the duck breast sitting out to dry out a little bit. Just helps crisp it up a lot nicer, makes the cooking process a little easier. It's really nice, perfectly cooked, medium rare breast with crisp skin. I take some notes from my Lebanese heritage with the labneh and za'atar, sumac, a little bit of cherry sauce that gives a nice tartness. So it's, I think, a big crowd pleaser. So now we're hitting 3 p.m. in our day, which is always sort of go time. Everybody's starting to really feel the pressure. We like to kind of be finishing up by 4 so we can start setting up for dinner service at 5. So everybody's kind of finishing the big production tasks at this point. And getting things in order so that we have a smooth night ahead of us. So we're pushing.
Chef asked me to make pasta, so I just have some double O in here, some durum flour, salt, keeping it like real basic to let the filling be the star.
In my head so far, it should work. I mean, it's pretty simple and straightforward. Some fennel, shellfish, lemon, and then this roe. I didn't want to put any bold flavors or something that would detract from the roe, so hopefully that shines through and it's worth it.
Right now I'm stretching it out, and then I'm gonna put a fold in it to build up the gluten.
What was your ratio?
Musket Secrets. No, 200 grams of double O and 75 grams of durum. I've been begging Chef to put pasta on the menu.
She's getting her Christmas wish.
Yeah.
So for these, I just wanted to be really fresh, the shellfish, because I want to feature the scampi roe and not overpower it with much. So the size, I think, should be nice, and with a little dollop of the roe on top and the shellfish broth. So I'm just going to put the last touches on this dish, and then Jennifer and Ramon are going to come taste it and let me know what they think.
I chose 3 wines just based off of the shellfish in the dish. To me, I think the Gruner worked the best out of the 3 of them.
I think it's delicious. I would love to figure out a better pasta shape to hold all that beautiful roe. Love the pairing. But I think it's great. I think it's unique. Great job on the pasta. I think it's awesome.
So I just cleaned the pin bones out of the center of this. Just making a couple portions for testing. And then I'm gonna just score. I like to, when I prepare mackerel, I usually do this. When I season and torch it, sort of keep it flat, gives it a nice look. Torching the skin a little bit to give it that char, that flavor. Then I'm gonna pop it in the oven to finish. My plating philosophy, I would say, is to not be too precious, not too fussy, but still have some elegance to it. I never want to have unnecessary garnish. They all should have somewhat of a meaning or an importance to the actual harmony of all the dish. I try to keep it light and easy. I just wax poetic about not being fussy on a plate. This is a little fussy. And this was a little bit of the orange citrus vinaigrette I made. I want to change the halibut dish out and get all those kind of bright citrus flavors of winter coming around.
I kind of like the idea of lightening up going into winter.
Yeah.
It was awesome. It's beautiful.
Cool.
Thanks, Chef.
Thanks, Chef.
Yeah. 2 prefix menus, both are vegan, but anchovy butter is okay.
Yes.
It's a go. Service is fun. It's a beautiful challenge every day where everything just lines up perfectly, and it's like a choreographed dance. We're all hitting this the same notes, the right steps at the same time, and you come out of it feeling really great about what you did, and just hearing people love their experience makes it all the more worth it.
Victoria, can you run? Thank you. G6, sweetbread 1, Mayataki 2. Thank you.
All right, order in a bread and spreads, tuna tartare, and a white truffle on hold a chicken, duck, halibut.
Yes.
For me, I've never been a person that has responded well to somebody yelling at me. So I've just never been a person that has had that energy to do that to someone else. I find people learn most and respect you most when you lead with compassion and leadership and understanding.
One pear and is that it? That y'all you
No,
doing?
no, I'm gonna.
And a parsnip?
And a parsnip.
All right.
And a Concord.
Order in VIP. This is our dear server, Sean. Fire bread and spreads with walnut, not chicken liver. 3 endive, and we're gonna send a prawn with that. And let's add a duck to that table as well.
Yes.
We're nearing the end of our wonderful busy day today, and I think we're gonna knock it out of the park for the rest of the night.
Confirming you have 4 halibut on the board. 2 of them are being
Yes,
plated.
so I have 3 halibut ready to go. I'm dropping another one right now.
Heard.
All my ducks are rested and I have a chicken ready.
You got G2 and G6. G2 is 2 cabbage.
2 beef, fried 2 canapes, 1 pescatarian. Yes.
Looking back on this one day, I would hope that it was the place where I was really able to find my voice and establish a presence. Hopefully have people, look up to me one day or just remembering me as somebody that they learned a lot from, and they are passing on things I've taught them and having that little bit of a legacy carried on. So that's my drive in the kitchen every day.
I spent 64 portions today.
Yeah, and then we had 34 on top of it.
Exactly, yeah.
So we're starting right now with like 90 some.
Yeah.
So we should probably get 6 more packs, so we have 8 total. And then I'll get quail for the weekend.
Table 9, quail, endive.
We do cake orders for special occasions. Just give us like a 2 days notice.
All right, we're fired on 3, truffle supplement, VIP. Hands please. Table 1, halibut 1, duck 2.
Table 59, sharing.
Yes, of course, I want the food to be delicious and as perfect as it can be, but really it's about the team and putting better people out into the world.